I will now call to order the May 1st, 2025 Clackamas County Board of Commissioners business meeting. County Administrator Gary Schmidt, would you please call the roll?
Yes, thank you, Chair. First, our staff support today, County Counsel Jane Vedo, Clerk to the Board Andrew Jaraki. Commissioner Schrader is out of the office today. There is a quorum present. Roll call, Commissioner Savas.
Present.
Commissioner West.
Here.
Chair Roberts.
Here. All right, thank you, Gary. And will you now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Excuse me. Good morning. Welcome, everyone, to our public communication portion of this meeting. Testimony is limited to 3 minutes. I ask the comments be respectful and courteous. As a reminder, you can email submissions for public communication at bcc@clackamas.us, and these will be accepted as a part of the public record. I will now open the meeting for public testimony. I will take in-person testimony first. Clerk, would you please moderate the in-person and virtual testimony for me?
Thank you, Chair. If you are attending the meeting in person today and would like to speak during the public comment portion of the agenda, this is a reminder to please fill out a blue card, which can be found by the main entrance doors, and deposit it in the box. I will call you up in the order that I received the card. First and only blue card I've received is Les Poole. Les Poole, come forward, please, and you'll have 3 minutes.
Good morning, Les Poole.
Good morning.
I did the math. I actually lived in Clackamas for 32 years. I have to correct my statement that I lived here for 33. The reason I say that is I across the county line in Marion now, but certainly have interests here, and always good to be here. First thing I want to do is compliment the new seating. This is excellent. I'm being quite serious. When you walk up here and sit down and you're long and lanky, those chairs were really bad news. This is extremely comfortable, so I'll try to keep you all comfortable while I speak. Concerns about our friends at ODOT. ODOT's a hot topic because ODOT is probably one of the most poorly managed entities in the state, aside from TriMet. And ODOT, of course, was going to toll us and collect all kinds of money and be swimming in cash and take care of all the issues that we have with transportation, on and on and on. I see a smile from Commissioner Savas, and I want to thank him for all his hard work on that topic. And since tolling didn't work out, and because their projects are horrifically managed and way over budget, ODOT is completely upside down. You've never heard me come in here and accuse an entity of attempting to fleece the public. But I think the things that are going on in Salem right now are right there. They're as close as you can get to it as possible. I'm getting a lot of questions, and I've inquired about another subject closer to home, and that is the Clackamas Service Center that's coming. Not here to oppose it at all. I want to make that clear. But there is a lot of concern about, impacts to the neighborhood and what the hours will be, and how we're going to manage some of the traffic that comes with a facility like that. So any kind of an update or input on that would be appreciated. I know it's a big project, and again, I don't believe the neighbors are here to oppose it like that ridiculous Project Turnkey, but they need to be at the table, and I'm just here on their behalf. I've got a few seconds left. The last thing I want to mention is I hope you vet the 5 finalists very, very closely for the replacement commissioner's position. I personally have had a lot of eyewitness experience with Diana Helm that didn't make me comfortable. And I'll email you about that because I'm not here to, campaign for someone. That's not the appropriate thing to do. But I'd watch real closely. We've had some bad experiences, and not here to rub that in your face, folks. So, as always, thank you for your time. and I look forward to hearing back about the service center so I can keep folks informed.
Great, thank you, Les.
This is a final call. If you are attending this meeting in person today and would like to speak during this portion of the agenda, this is your last chance to please fill out a blue card and deposit it in the box by the door. Seeing no more blue cards, Chair, assuming your assent, I'll move to virtual communications. If you are attending this meeting online and wish to speak during the public communication portion of the agenda, I'll now ask you to please raise your hand, and I will call on you in the order that I see. This is a final call. If you are attending this meeting virtually and would like to speak during public communication, this is your last opportunity to please raise your hand, and I will call on you in the order that I see. Mr. Chair, I see no more members of the public who wish to speak either in person or virtually today.
All right, thank you, Andrew. I will now close the public communication portion of this meeting, and we'll move on. I'll recess as the Board of County Commissioners and convene as the Housing Authority Board. Gary, what is the next agenda item for us?
Thank you, Chair. You're now meeting as the Housing Authority of Clackamas County. This is the Housing Authority Consent Agenda. Joining you online is Housing Resident Commissioner Leenstra. Are you there, Commissioner Leenstra?
Yes, I am. Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome. Andrew, would you please read the consent agenda?
Housing Authority Consent Agenda. Item A, ratification of the 2024-2027 labor agreement contract with the Housing Authority of Clackamas County Employees Association. Contract value is $2,133,268 for 3 years. Funding is through the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development and Metro Supportive Housing Services Measure funds. No county general funds are involved. Mr. Chair, that concludes the Housing Authority Consent Agenda.
All right, thank you. Any colleagues wish to remove any items from the consent agenda? Seeing none, may I have a motion?
I move we approve the Housing Authority Consent Agenda, ratification of the 2024-2027 labor agreement contract with the Housing Authority of Clackamas County Employees Association.
Second.
All right. So Commissioner Lindstrom has moved to approve the Housing Authority Consent Agenda. Commissioner Savas has seconded that motion. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Clerk, would you please call the poll?
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Savas.
Aye.
Commissioner Leenstra.
Aye.
Mr. Chair.
Aye,
Motion passes 4-0, Mr. Chair.
and thank you very much. I will now adjourn as the Housing Authority Board and reconvene as the Board of Commissioners. Gary, what is next on our agenda?
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Commissioner Leenstra, for joining us. Next is the Board of County Commissioners, Clackamas County Consent Agenda. Andrew, would you please read the consent agenda?
Board of Commissioners Consent Agenda. Item A, elected officials. 1, approval of previous business meeting minutes. B, finance. 1, approval of a public improvement contract with Johnson Controls for fire control and access controls at the McBrood Crisis Center. Contract value is $231,000 for 8 months. Funding is through the Oregon Department of Administrative Services. No county general funds are involved. C, Human Resources. 1, ratification of the 2024-2027 labor agreement main contract with the Clackamas County Employees Association. Contract value is $94,028,155 for 3 years. Funding is through county general funds, charges and fees, and federal and state grants. 2, ratification of the 2024-2027 labor agreement part-time and temporary contract with the Clackamas County Employees Association. Contract value is $2,539,869 for 3 years. Funding is through county general funds, charges and fees, and federal and state grants. D, Health, Housing, and Human Services. 1, approval of a subrecipient grant agreement with Friends of Estacada Community Center for building improvements at the Estacada Senior Center. Agreement value is $90,000 for 5 months. Funding is through the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development. No county general funds are involved. Mr. Chair, that concludes the consent agenda.
Thank you, Andrew. Colleagues, do you wish to remove anything? Seeing none, may I have a motion?
Chair, I move that we approve the consent agenda as read.
And is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner West has moved to approve the consent agenda. Commissioner Savas has seconded that motion. Any further discussion? Seeing none, clerk, would you please call the poll?
Commissioner Savas.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Mr. Chair.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0, Mr. Chair.
All right, thank you. Gary, what is next?
Thank you, Chair. Next is County Administrator update. That's me. I'd like to recognize the good work of our county employees during my time with you. Today, I want to recognize our staff member from the Sheriff's Office, who is recognized by the Wilsonville City Council. And this is Brenda Evans, who is a mobile crisis clinician with the Sheriff's Office, who is embedded within the Wilsonville Police Department. And our Sheriff's Office is a contract with the Wilsonville City to offer police services. The Wilsonville City Council honored Brenda during a town hall event and said this, that Brenda provides a lot of support for the Wilsonville community. She works with the community at large and stakeholders to provide resources, mental health training and education, and crisis intervention. So thank you to Brenda and all the team that works on these issues for our partners in public safety and our outstanding employees of the Sheriff's Office. So that's my update, but also quickly I wanted to loop back to you on the Replacement County Courthouse. As you know, Commissioners, the grand opening of the Replacement County Courthouse is this Saturday, May 3rd, and the building will be open to the public on Monday, May 19th. It's almost here. And to close the loop with you publicly, although we've told you privately, we have resolved all those uncertainties with the state of Oregon on the funding for the state share of the courthouse, in particular the milestone payment that the county is owed to the vendor contractor here in 5 days of $130 million. Everything's been worked out, all fine. Thank you to our partners at the State of Oregon, Oregon Judicial Department, and our amazing county staff. We've worked it all out. The state is paying the full $130 million. No issues, all good, all resolved. Wanted to close the loop with you and the public. That's my report for today. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Savas has a question.
Yeah, if you could, Gary, appreciate you announcing the May 3rd grand opening, and some people have approached me, I think I mentioned this before, wanting to attend, but I do know because of security reasons, it's by invitation only and to a limited group, and I believe the district attorney's office is pretty much the lead on anything that goes on in the building. Is that correct?
Yes, it is by invitation only. We're restricting it for security purposes, and there's just not enough space to allow everyone into the building at one time. It's actually the state of Oregon has a security detail. Our sheriff's office is the primary oversight of security for the building, and the district attorney. So yes, multiple partners involved, but for security and space reasons, it is a restricted event this Saturday.
Okay.
We'll videotape it. We'll air it live for people to watch later.
Thank you.
All right. Let's switch to Commissioner Communication, and Commissioner Savas, I'll start with you.
Go ahead.
No, I misheard. Nope. It's your turn, not mine.
Yeah. So I normally talk about some of the hot issues going on, and certainly there's a lot going on in transportation, but I'm going to move on to something a little bit different today as posturing and positioning and things are happening in Salem, all of which I have a little bit of insight, but I certainly don't have any great detail as to all the interactions. I've heard some people on both sides of the aisle think that they're optimistic. Maybe something middle ground will happen, but we'll see. That said, what I really wanted to talk about a little bit was some of our committees, our ABCs, our advisory boards and commissions, and some of the work they do. And I think, frankly, following COVID, there's been some major setbacks in that area, right? And we've been trying to see some of these rebuild. And I have heard from people reaching out to me concerns about, whether the board really has interest or the board is, really valuing this is kind of age-old, Gary, you've heard some of this, where the board values their work and input. And my response is, of course we do. It is a factor in our decision-making. Sometimes we take some of those advisory recommendations and we implement them fully, and then sometimes we tweak them and so forth, but it's all based on, the nuances, and sometimes there's things maybe that the advisory board's not aware of that we are, that legal things that we might be privy to. But all in all, my point here today is that one of our committees, someone reached out to me last Thursday afternoon. I couldn't make it, but Thursday afternoon was the Veterans Advisory Committee, and I do know that they had a change in leadership. The lead of that, the HE3S lead, retired, so there's a change there. As I was talking to the new chair of the VAC, the VAC, she expressed to me that there will be some appointments being forthcoming, and so the constructive element I got out of that is, number one, they want to make sure everything's in place in this transition of staffing. And they would also, the request, Chair, is that they be given maybe every quarter an opportunity to come and give us an update. And I said, well, I know you can do that under public comment. And I do know that we meet in June. We're going to talk about assignments, but, Chair, it's something that I kind of have done a little bit, but I'm also overwhelmed. So, I know that you have expressed and done as our elected sheriff, you had a strong interest in veterans. So possibly, I just wanted to let you know that, if you got more time available to commit to this once a month meeting, but I was asked to speak and bring this up by the new chair of the VAC. But it does speak to a greater thing. I've also been reached out by, and Chair, thank you for attending the meeting with the Sunnyside CPO that very same night. I could not attend because I was chairing the Region 1 ACT, Area Commission on Transportation, so I couldn't be there. And I know a number of CPOs are struggling to meet, and I heard, unfortunately, that at the end of that meeting that they announced that they would cease to meet because of lack of people wanting to volunteer. So my concern overall is that we somehow recognize that I believe that if we can maybe take a greater role in reaching out and engaging some of the advisory boards and commissions, let them know, that we care about their work, we value their volunteering time that they do at their own expense, and kind of reinvigorate. I think there's a lot of post-COVID things that have, in many factors, in many realms, that we still haven't climbed out of. But I'm just hoping that we can kind of restore faith in all our volunteers. Our volunteer base, what they contribute to the county, is invaluable. And I know those are easy words to say, but as someone who came from that space 28 years ago, 27 years ago, and worked for a long time, ever before becoming elected, I'm very passionate about our community and communities at large, right? We're not just one community, it's really a collection of communities. So first of all, big shout out and thank you to all our volunteers, and I just want to hope that when we onboard our next commissioner and we have our retreat, that one of our topics is trying to reinvigorate and value our volunteer base and kind of get that back up to what it once was at its peak. And Gary, as the former director of PGA, I really appreciated your work and so forth. And so it's going to take, all of us maybe to help this along. I miss our quarterly community leaders meeting, right? Is that what it was called?
Yes.
So, the ears and eyes, the boots on the ground, but they are the ears on the ground of what's happening in our community. And when the community leaders group met, which is a collection of all of those around the county, I always learn, new things, and I think it's important for us to know what's happening. So, but again, I'm looking forward to whatever that appointment, whenever that happens, and whoever that person is, that again, the five of us try to become one and become a team, and recognize all the challenges we certainly face. And Chair, that's what I have for today. I yield back.
Thanks, Commissioner Saus. Commissioner West.
I'm not going to add much today. I don't have much. I'm sure I will next week, but sometimes brevity is okay, and we're going to give the people their time back. And Gary, our county administrator, tells me that I could probably do that a little more often. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and yield back, and I hope everybody has a great week. I will say this, if you plan on participating in the May Day festivities or protests or whatever we want to call them, please exercise your First Amendment right, but we want you to do it legally, and please do it in a way that does not break the law, and that you can let your voice be heard, and you can use your First Amendment right, but please do it peacefully. And we hope that everybody has a great weekend. The weather is amazing. Get out and enjoy it. That's all I got, Chair.
Oh, thank you, Commissioner West. Just a couple quick updates. Met with Tourism Development Council Chair Luke Spencer this week, and in addition to serving on the council, Luke is actually the owner of Clackamas River Outfitters. He shared with me about an event coming up taking place on May 16th to the 18th on the Upper Clackamas. It's called the Whitewater Festival. The event takes place just outside Estacade on the Clackamas River. And the mission is the Whitewater Festival is to bring the river community together, promote river safety and education, provide an arena for competition, break down barriers for new paddlers, and foster river stewardship. The sponsors also work closely with the United States Forest Service and is helping bring back vitality to the area after the devastating fire in 2020. And this event is actually celebrating the 39th anniversary. So I just want to comment, with so many wonderful waterways in our county, it's really no wonder that people want to get out on the water. I'm one of those. As a reminder, as this weather starts to warm up, people really need to be aware of a number of things. You know, it's wearing life jackets, being aware that the Clackamas River is still very cold. And also, many of you probably saw we had an unfortunate tragedy of a kayaker that went over the falls. And I just want to urge everybody, that particularly new kayakers, to work with guides and go with somebody who's experienced and knows the waterways. The Clackamas can also be very dangerous, and these guides know the water very well. And just want to encourage everyone to be safe out there as this weather, springtime is really nice to see the weather get better. Just a last quick note. I know Ben's out this direction as well. The Stafford Road closure, I just want to give you an update that we're entering construction season, and I encourage you to pack your patience, which I think we both need to do. We travel that road frequently. But the county's website has all of our transportation engineering projects listed with an overview of timelines and impacts. So, for example, beginning May 5th, the Stafford Road between Johnson Road and Childs Road will be closed through September. It's quite a long time. So I know these are inconvenient. Unfortunately, they're necessary for safety and improvements. So I just ask you to be patient. And with that, I turn to my colleagues. I don't see anything else. And so on behalf of the Board of Commissioners, thank you for joining us today. If there's no further business, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.